Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Three news stories for you. First one, Jawar's interview. Part two of the interview uh, was published last night. Arts TV World YouTube channel hosted Jawar. What did he say? Did he propose anything? Did he propose a solution of which he is going to be part as well? Secondly, Hassan Sheikh, Somalia's president, last night sent a message to Ethiopia and Ethiopians. What did he say? How important is his position about Ethiopia? Is it a warning or a reconciliatory message from Hassan Sheikh? Thirdly, Somaliland's defense minister resigned yesterday. I did a video on that. Then the man was interviewed, and the man leveled serious allegations against Ethiopia. Is this man, Abdikani, close to Djibouti's president, Ismail Omar? Firstly, viewers, Jawar Mohammed Oromo, Federalist Congress Vice Chairman, top man behind the Kio movement, which disbanded EPRDF, was interviewed the last 2 weeks. First part of the interview was published a week ago. Second part was published last night. Arts TV World is the name of the YouTube channel which aired Jawar's interview. What did Jawar say? I think in this part of the interview, he was more critical of PM Abiy's government. Firstly, my overall impression is that since I started covering Ethiopia, I think Jawar has been projecting himself as an Ethiopian nationalist. Though when Jawar was in prison and I was covering Tigray war, people would say, Sajid, Jawar is a hardliner Oromo, and if he comes out, you'll see ethnic violence in Oromia. Jawar and Sikandar will go after each other. But when Jawar came out, he was released around 2 years ago. He was a changed man. He did not promote any conflicts. People accused him of being in secret alliance with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. Whatever the reason is for Jawar's restrained approach, he now does not talk like an Oromo nationalist. He talks like an Ethio nationalist. He talks about nationalism, talks about unity, talks about reconciliation, talks about dialogue. So, though his support base is Oromia, and I've been saying, by the way, that Jawar is one of those politicians who should talk about national issues, regional issues. He has immense following. He shouldn't restrict himself to just Oromia. And his interviews mostly focus on entire Ethiopia. He proposes solutions to all the problems, main problems which Ethiopia is faced with, regional issues as well. He talked about the peace agreement of 28 with Ethiopia and Eritrea, and he said that that agreement left Tigray out. Tigray should have been included in the loop as well. So Ethiopia and Eritrea should restart from 2018 with Tigray in the loop too. First suggestion. Secondly, he said Ethiopia and Eritrea will have to talk. Their survival linked, their progress linked. And that is what he has been saying, nothing new. And I think he has been saying the same about TPLF too. The TPLF's exclusion from Addis Ababa was mismanaged. TPLF should have been in Addis Ababa in alliance with other parties. It's not new. We heard from him similar things this year, last year. Secondly, he talked about the ongoing conflict in the Amhara region, and he acknowledged the groups in Amhara, armed groups, have public support. This is what we've been reporting, that Fano fighters have public behind them. Fano critics reject that claim, but that is what is the situation on the ground. He said region is destabilized, Amhara region. Talks should happen. That is the way forward. Again, I would back what Jawar said. Then OLA. He said OLA and government held talks and they agreed on most points. Almost on 80% points, they agreed. Disagreement was over a few points. Talks should continue. And importantly, he asked armed groups like OLA, Fano, etc., to have realistic demands. It's a very important point, by the way. Whose demands are unrealistic? Can we say that according to Jawar, OLA is responsible for failure of talks, collapse of talks? Because according to him, OLA's demands were unrealistic. By the way, when talks collapsed between OLA and government a few weeks ago, government officials accused OLA of having very unrealistic demands. And that is what was largely said by Jawar last night. He said that armed groups should have realistic demands. It means what OLA was demanding or what Fano is demanding maybe are unrealistic. Importantly, he talked about the claim by some people who say that Oromos are in power now. They are the main players and they are working to establish Oromoma. A question was put to him and he said that Oromos are suffering. He said around 100,000 Oromos are in prisons, not criminals. He wasn't talking about criminals. He was talking about those people who are in prison for their political affiliation, for having alleged links with armed factions. He said in Shaggar alone, there are 30 prisons. In Valaga, Shoa, etc., people are suffering. And number of people killed, number of Oromos killed in the last 5 years is more than the Oromos killed in the era of Mengistu, Halimariam, and Malice. It's a big accusation against the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. We tried to prove that it's not that Oromos are in power. Oromos are suffering. They are in prisons. They're being killed, massacred. Did not talk about the killing of Amharas in Valaga. The presenter, the interviewer did not ask a question, which is one of the main issues for Amharas. There is this issue. He should have addressed this question as well. Basically, Jawar again projected himself as a pro-peace Ethio nationalist. He proposed dialogue. He proposed change, reconciliation. But what does he plan to do? Does he only want to give interviews sitting in Kenya or go hiking? He has a responsibility to fulfill. Responsibility as an opposition politician. Any plans announced by Jawar or his party to lead change in Ethiopia, of which Jawar would be part of? No. So he is analyzing Ethiopian complex security, ethnic, political issues, very impartial to a large extent. But again, he spoke like an analyst, like a political science teacher, professor. The part about his role is missing. What is his role? Is he unable to play any role and he can only analyze the situation? Is he scared? Does he want to project himself acceptable to international players, regional players, as maybe the new ruler, new leader in Ethiopia? There could be several reasons, but good thing is that Jawar is trying to be an Ethio nationalist. He's calling for unity. He's calling for dialogue. He's calling for reconciliation. but he's not proposing anything of which he's going to be part of as well. Solutions, we know, talks, reconciliation, better governance, accountability, democratic reforms. Everyone knows that. How to achieve all this? Who will take the first step? What will opposition do? These are the questions unanswered. Secondly, viewers, Hassan Sheikh, Somalia's president, addressed members of parliament last night. A strong message from Hassan Sheikh for Ethiopia and Ethiopians. What did he say? 2 days ago, Hassan Sheikh government passed a law after two houses of parliament passed it. Hassan Sheikh signed the law, the legislation. The legislation nullified Ethiopia's Somaliland MOU, saying that the MOU was a violation of Somalia's territorial integrity and sovereignty. And last night, Hassan Sheikh hosted a dinner in the honor of those MPs who supported the resolution, the legislation. And there he spoke. He directly addressed Ethiopia and Ethiopians in his talk there. He said, I have a message for Ethiopia and Ethiopians. Don't deceive yourself. It won't happen. It shall not happen. You cannot take our sea or land. We will fight no matter what happens. The resolve shown by Hassan Sheikh government to thwart the deal, to implement the deal, to stop implementation of deal between Ethiopia and Somaliland is very visible. Everyone knows that. And secondly, he addressed those who are pulling the strings behind the scenes. Those who are behind this MOU. Who are they? Who are they? Maybe UAE. I think his message was for UAE and maybe some other players too. UAE is one of the players which could be playing a key role in forging an alliance between Ethiopia and Somaliland. He said, Somalia is not a pushover. You cannot force Somalis to surrender their land, their sea. It won't happen. So Hassan Sheikh government is focused, determined that it will not allow the MOU between Ethiopia and Somaliland to be implemented. All tactics, means are being adopted by Hassan Sheikh government. Military, political, diplomatic, ethnic, threats of proxy war, etc. Coming days are very crucial, no signs of de-escalation so far. PM Abiy tried to contact Hassan Sheikh. Hassan Sheikh refused to take his call, reportedly. Why? Hassan Sheikh under immense pressure from opposition parties, from Al-Shabaab, from some regional allies too, from former President Farmajo, that he should take a strong position, that he should tell Ethiopia that Ethiopia cannot gain access to the sea through Somaliland. That is why Hassan Sheikh spoke. And his words are very clear, no ambiguity. And government is mobilizing people as well. Somalia's government is mobilizing people as well. Protests in Somalia we have seen. So protests in Somaliland. By the way, I'll do a video on the internal conflict in Somaliland, the tribal element, the conflict between clans there. I've received details. Why is that there are protests in Odal? What could be the likely future scenarios? Why this Musawi Abdi flew from Djibouti, where he signed an agreement with Hassan Sheikh, to Addis Ababa, and he signed a new agreement with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. I'll speak on that in detail in coming videos, hopefully today. Thirdly, viewers, Somaliland Defense Minister gave an explosive interview, former defense minister, because he resigned yesterday. Abdikhani spoke last night. I reported about his resignation last night. Then he was interviewed and he leveled serious allegations against Ethiopia. As if Ethiopia is an enemy of Somalis. Somalis live in Ethiopia, by the way. Ethiopians live in Somalia, but this temperature rising between the two sides could lead to serious consequences for the people on both sides of the border. He said that Ethiopia already has our land. He was talking about, I think, Somali region of Ethiopia, that Ethiopia annexed Somaliland. Now Ethiopia wants to annex our sea as well. We won't let that happen. Before his resignation, he met with Musabi Abdi. The minister is from Somali Isa tribe. He is from Loghaya, where Ethiopia wants to establish a naval base. Loghaya is not far away from Djibouti as well. Somalis live in Djibouti too. People say that he is close to Ismail Omar of Djibouti. If Ismail Omar is behind the resignation of Abdi Ghani, it's a big development. Because Djibouti is taking sides. But Djibouti is silent so far. I haven't seen a statement from Djibouti so far. A statement from Djibouti, a statement from Eritrea so far. I have not seen, correct me if I'm wrong. If Djibouti's Ismail Omar is behind the resignation of Abdi Ghani, it's a big development. It means Djibouti is not taking sides. He is going to provoke Somalisas in Audal to rise against this MOU. Abdi Ghani has resigned. Resignation obviously is going to be accepted, but what will it lead to? More tension, more protests in Audal, in Loghaya maybe as well. That we'll see in coming days. Thank you for watching.